2021 was a successful year for my business, but it was a lot of work and I really needed to learn how to streamline my processes and my life in order to get everything done. In this video, I'm going to be sharing some amazing hacks that help me be more productive and shave time doing certain tasks while still living a balanced life. And isn't that what it's all about? We want to accomplish so much, but we only have so much time in our day. So we have to make every single minute, every single second really count and not let the time get away from us if we really have these high goals. And the items I'm going to share with you encompasses both work and lifestyle, because everything together, how you handle everything you do from the second you wake up to the second you go to sleep at night, will help with creating a more productive day. I'm of the belief that a random app on your phone or a planner alone are not enough to be your most productive self. You need to have the energy, the stamina, the concentration, and the focus in order to be your most productive. And the things I'm going to share with you in this video help me with all of that. And I always get people asking me in my day-to-day life, Erika, how do you have so much energy? How do you get it all done? Well, the following I'm going to share with you are essential to my productivity and getting everything done on the day-to-day. And most of these things are actually free and just habits that I've learned to incorporate on a daily basis. What you're going to hear about from me in this video is probably not much of what you've heard about before. I'm not sponsored. I'm not getting anything for free. I'm not getting paid to talk about this topic. Productivity is something I've been personally working on for years. These are things that work for me after a lot of trial and error. And stay at the end for a bonus productivity item that will actually probably surprise you. If you're new here, my name is Erika Vieira. I'm a YouTube strategist that has helped hundreds of women behind the scenes grow on YouTube through my strategic channel management, my one-on-one YouTube coaching, and my Zero to Influence YouTube Bootcamp. If you want more information about that, go in the description below. Now let's get started. So the first thing that has actually helped me be more productive, and this is probably going to surprise you, is intermittent fasting. And I want to preface that by saying that I am not a health professional. I'm not giving any type of health advice. And if you decide to do something like intermittent fasting, you need to do your own research and contact your health professional. Intermittent fasting is something that has helped me. And essentially what it means is shortening your eating window to a certain period of time. So for me, I don't eat until around 1 or 2 o'clock every day. And then I end my eating window at dinner, which could be anywhere from like 5:30 to like 7 o'clock. So in that period of time is when I'm eating, and I usually eat 2 meals. I do tend to eat more of a keto / paleo diet. I personally can't really tolerate gluten, so I don't eat any gluten products. I don't eat rice, I don't eat pasta, I don't eat breads. It's really a very heavy meat, fat, and vegetable-based diet. From my research, it does make it easier to be able to go long periods of time without eating. But part of the reason why it's made me more productive is because I don't have to worry about breakfast at the beginning of the day. I don't have to think about what I'm going to eat. I don't have to take time away to eat. It also makes planning my workouts easier, because before I need to like plan when I eat, around when I worked out. And it's just so much easier for me not to have to worry about it in the morning. There's a lot to intermittent fasting. There's so many channels here on YouTube about it. There's so many videos about it. If you're curious about it, then definitely search YouTube. It's something for me that I started probably 2 years ago, and I found that it's really helped me be much more productive. And one item that actually helps me intermittent fast, and no, it's not sponsored by them, but it is a product that I absolutely love, and it's Peak Tea. And they actually have fasting teas that you can drink during your fasting period that don't break your fast. And for me, it helps me so much with, like, if I do get a little bit hungry, what I've realized is a lot of time I'm thirsty, so I'll drink water, or like I'll have some tea, which I'm having now. And it actually will curb that hunger and then help me go a little bit longer. If there's ever times that I'm really, really hungry, like it's that time of the month, then I will eat something. But for the most part, in the mornings, I don't eat anything. And it's usually my Peak Tea and some water. Next thing that has helped with my productivity is also more of a lifestyle habit, and that's using a rebounder, or in my case, a trampoline. So I discovered using a trampoline actually over a year ago. We have a trampoline here for our kids. And then I started doing a little bit of research because I'd heard people talking about this term rebounding and how it can be so helpful for your health and your vitality and your energy. And just Google rebounding and you'll look into it. But essentially jumping on a trampoline. And a lot of people have a mini trampoline, but because we have a large trampoline here in the backyard, it's a great excuse for me to get outdoors, get some sun, and help increase my energy. So if I'm ever feeling kind of like run down, or I'm feeling like I'm just not having my best energy, I will go and I do the trampoline. And I actually do the trampoline every single day for a minimum of 10 minutes. Sometimes I'll go up to 20 minutes. And I do find that it makes me automatically happier. It makes me have more energy. It's definitely a game-changing product that I recommend that you check out. You can buy these little mini rebounders at home and just jumping on it for even like 5 minutes if you ever get run down or if you feel like you need to get some energy if you're gonna film. Rebounding is absolutely fantastic and it's something that I'm gonna keep with me for the rest of my life. The number 3 productivity item that I use every day is my Erin Condren planner. I absolutely love this planner. This is a daily planner. So for me, like I block out my days every day. I block out my time. So I'm obsessed with the daily planner. I'm actually going to be trying out a new planner for 2022, and that's this one here. I will link everything below. This one actually has space to like time block, and I do a lot of time blocking. But for me, it's like I have to write everything down. So I will literally put down like every single thing that I need to do on a checklist in this daily planner. Like I can never have like a weekly planner or even a planner on your phone. I have to have it written down. And if there's something that I know like, oh shoot, I need to take care of it, I will jot it in my planner. Even if it's something I need to get done in 3 days from now, I'll just put it on that appropriate day. So when it comes time for that day, I take a look at it and I have my to-do list. This has been essential for me getting everything done. This particular planner is called the Daily Planner. And this is, you know, that you get a book per quarter. So you have to buy a new book every 3 months, but I absolutely love it. This little hack is absolutely amazing. I first heard about it through Amy Landino's channel. I love her channel. I interviewed her on the podcast a long time ago before she kind of got into like this whole productivity space. But this is a little nifty timer, and it's, you know, you can set it if you want to get something done. So for me, if I want to work on something for like 30 minutes or 15 minutes or 60 minutes, I even use it for doing things around the house. Like, okay, I'm just going to spend the next like 30 minutes just doing like a power clean, right? And I just try and clean everything I can in 30 minutes. Or it's like, I'm going to work on this particular project for the next hour. And then you put it on your desk and then it automatically will ding after that period of time. So I love this little timer. I'll link it below. It's super inexpensive, but it's definitely been a game changer for me. So the other thing that is more related to lifestyle is hiring a personal trainer for weight training. So prior to doing this, I used to exercise every single day, Pilates or bar, or even go to the gym. I used to be a huge gym rat, which is great. And there's so many amazing benefits to it for your mental health, for your physical health. But when I started to really ramp up my business, I just did not have time for that. And I needed to have a workout that was really efficient and effective and that just got things done. And hiring a trainer for me was huge. And you'll hear a lot of people talking about this, that like once they hired a trainer, they really saw a huge improvement in their physique and their muscle tone, and then just being able to be more efficient. And so what I love about this trainer is that I meet with him twice a week, and it's 30 minutes and it's heavy weights. So it's something that I know that I wouldn't be able to do on my own. But the fact that I know that like I can go for twice a week for 30 minutes at a time, but then I'm really getting a lot of my strength training done in a very quick amount of time is incredible. It's bought me back so much time because I know I'm getting at least those 2 sessions in a week. And from my research and understanding, if you're doing that intense weight training, it's called the super slow method. You can look it up, but that's really all you need to build your muscle tone. And exercise, as you know, is incredible for helping you get more energy, is helping improve your endorphins. There's so many benefits, both mental and physical, with exercise that is, as somebody who is a business owner and somebody who has a lot going on, it's so important to carve out that time in your week. So the next productivity tip or hack is outsourcing. If you're a business owner or you have a YouTube channel or you're online creative or you're doing anything where you basically manage your own business, there's no way that you can succeed or expand on your vision if you don't start thinking of outsourcing some of the tasks. One of the first things that I always tell my coaching clients, even personal friends that are in this online space, is to hire help. If you haven't done it already, You have to do it. The sooner you get started, the better off you'll be, because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to learn what you need out of someone. You're going to learn how to outsource. I mean, it's a skill in and of itself. Like, a successful business owner is somebody that knows how to delegate. It's someone that knows how to properly outsource. For me, I first started outsourcing before I was even generating an income from my podcast. My first hire was a podcast editor, so I can take that off my plate. And it was also something I didn't like. I don't like the tech part of things. I hate it. It's something I don't enjoy. It does not bring me joy, as Marie Kondo would say. And so it wasn't until I was willing to invest in myself and do that I was able to take my focus away from the podcast and all that nitty-gritty that's involved in podcast production and put it into my coaching and my boot camp. Without that first hire, I probably would have given up. You can only do something so long without making an income. And for me, just having the podcast, it wasn't generating an income by itself. I needed to create programs and do coaching, which is something I genuinely wanted to do. I was interested in doing that. Editing a podcast was not something that I was interested in. And so without making that first hire, I wouldn't be where I was today. And I wouldn't have learned all the skills that I needed to learn in order to now have a team, because today it was a goal of mine to really build out my team and get really incredible people on my team. I have 7 contractors I work with on a regular basis to help with everything from video and podcast editing, project management, my Instagram, strategic channel agency, and so much more. So if you haven't yet done it, you can just start with baby steps. Even the idea of like hiring a house cleaner, someone to help clean your house, someone to help with landscaping, I mean, things like that is all outsourcing, and it's all giving you back time that you can give to something else, like a vision, like a goal. And it's once you start thinking like that, you start looking at your time as money, then you'll start to become more comfortable with the idea of, okay, maybe I need to start just outsourcing my thumbnails or some editing. I mean, it's the first thing that I tell everybody that I start working with, like outsource your editing or outsource thumbnails or something. So outsourcing is incredibly important, and it's a huge productivity hack. Number 7 is walking. Walking is so simple, and for me, it's a great combination of exercise, getting fresh air and vitamin D, while also being able to process my thoughts and coming up with new ideas. I have had some of the best ideas I've ever had on my walks. They're so valuable to me. I try and go on a walk like a couple times a week, and without doing it, I feel that I'll start to suffer in my day-to-day. I have to have those walks. I have to get that fresh air, and I have to allow my mind to just kind of race and think without being in front of a screen, without being in front of a computer or actively doing something. Productivity hack number 8 is something called the Marco Polo app. The Marco Polo app is a free app that I discovered several years ago, and it's an app that allows you to video text with other people. I initially used this in my business, video texting with clients and things like that. I no longer do that, but what I still use it for is connecting with friends. So it allows me to still have that connection with people and people that I really care about and people that I want to talk to, but it can be on my terms, because I can send them a video message whenever I feel like doing it, and they can send me one back. And I literally do it when I'm doing anything. Like, I'll do it while I'm like cleaning up around the house. I'll do it while I'm doing my makeup. I'll listen to them and then I'll respond. It's really addicting. And a lot of my friends that I turn on to this app are obsessed with it. It's so addicting. Like, I'm so glad that I discovered it, because it just allows me to catch up with friends and people I care about on my terms when I can actually do it, versus having to sit down and schedule like a 2-hour phone call or hour-long phone call. It's also really great for me of connecting with other people in this industry. I have a lot of friends that are in this industry, and we basically just like brainstorm together, or we talk about things. We talk about things that like maybe we don't get to talk about with people on our day-to-day, and having this app that gives us the opportunity to talk to each other on a day-to-day basis and talk about things related to our YouTube channel, to our online business, has been so helpful in helping me formulate ideas, come up with new ideas. So, I mean, it's part of the Marco Polo app in of itself doesn't do that. Obviously, it's a big part of like having a community and being able to connect with people, but the app is a great way for me to be able to connect with people within this community. The next productivity item is ClickUp. ClickUp is an online software that I use to manage my team. So I do have a project manager. Shout out to Sarah. She's amazing. And she's like the ClickUp queen. She's in there all the time. But it really allows us to manage all the different projects that we have going on. I don't think I could be doing what I'm doing and all the different things that I'm tackling without the ClickUp app. So definitely explore it. It's similar to something like Asana or Trello. So if you're familiar with those, it's very similar to those. But I know a lot of people that have migrated from Asana and from Trello to ClickUp because they prefer it much more. I absolutely love ClickUp. the last productivity item that I use is called the Airtable. So Airtable is a discovery that I found like over, I don't know, a year and a half ago. My team absolutely loves it, and it's something that I help to keep track of things. It's basically a more flexible and user-friendly alternative to Microsoft Excel. If you're a spreadsheet queen and you don't know what Airtable is, then you gotta get going and explore Airtable, because it is really cool. It's kind of how I map out my content calendar, and we map out all the guests for the podcast. We have a different spreadsheet for each of those. So we have so many Airtables for my content, for my coaching, for my strategic channel, management agency. I could not live without Airtable. And a bonus item that's a productivity item, or I think has brought me more productivity, is my coffee maker. I know it sounds crazy, you're like, a coffee maker, but here's the thing about productivity is that you have to really enjoy what you're doing. You have to enjoy what you're doing all day long in order to be your most productive self. And I'm a big believer in that. So having little joys throughout the day will help make a day that might be really busy and have a lot going on even better. So for me, I love coffee. It's just like, oh, the smell of it, everything. And I don't need coffee for the caffeine. I actually only drink decaf. If I have caffeine, it's too much and I'm like, oh, so I can't do caffeine. And so like decaf is the only thing that I'll drink. It's just the joy and the act of like smelling the coffee and drinking the coffee. And I have this whole concoction that I can share with you another time where I have like collagen in there, and like it's so good. And so it brings me a lot of joy. And this coffee maker, it definitely was an investment. It is not cheap. From my research, it's the best at-home coffee maker that you can buy. I mean, it blows Nespresso, a whole bunch of them out of the water. I also didn't want to have to use pods. I don't like the idea of pods. It just is a lot of waste. I don't like the aluminum, heating aluminum every day, and drinking that, it does not a fan. So this coffee maker is incredible. It is so good. Now it's like, I don't even want coffee anywhere else. Like I can't have Starbucks. I can't have Coffee Bean. I can't, because it does not compare to the coffee that I have at home. It is so good. So like, what does that have to do with productivity? Like I mentioned earlier, it makes me really happy. I have this cup of coffee in the middle of the day, every day. It's always like that little slump, but it's like, I enjoy it. It gets me excited for the rest of the day. I look forward to it all day. It's just something that brings me a lot of joy. And as a result, I believe makes me more productive. And then also, it's like I don't have to go anywhere for coffee. So it saves me time with that. So anyways, that's my little bonus tip there. Maybe it's not a coffee maker for you, but maybe it's something else that it's an investment, but it's something that really, truly brings you a lot of joy every day as you're working from home, because a lot of us in this industry are working from home by ourselves. And that's kind of where that Marco Polo app comes in too. It's like, people have asked me like, working from home, are you lonely? I'm like, no, not at all. Like I'm literally talking to people all day long. I mean, I'm talking to my clients, I'm talking to, my friends on Marco Polo. So it really helps to connect with people in this digital age. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know some of your favorite productivity tips in the comments below. I love talking productivity. And if you enjoy this, make sure you like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah.